Welcome to hell. It's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and I'm here basically going to decode some pop culture. We're going to watch this new video. It's a fan film by a guy called Jedi Swag, sponsored by the forum KanyeTwitter.com. And I'm a big fan of Kanye. This is called Yeezus. I'm a big fan of Kanye. I think that he's a very narcissistic person. He's got a huge ego, but that's his karma, and hey, who am I to judge? To create anything, to be creative, takes a lot out of you. It's not an easy thing. I think it's an incredibly hard thing to do anything like that. If you want something easy, go get a fucking job. It's fucking hard to be your own boss. It's hard to own a business. It's hard to be in charge of your own destiny, you know? And the clip that I'm going to show you is... there's just like a lot of different... It'll basically show you Kanye and who he is. And I'm going to sort of decode it for you. So let's have a look. And let's have some fun.
Baby, I down a plan, run away. They see I'll agree with your methods. It's so easy.
So this is the end of Runaway. You know, I think the use of mask is very important because it's sort of like a message on anonymity as a celebrity. And it's also a fashion statement. I mean, Kanye's trying to break into fashion. I think that's an incredibly important part to take in. He's definitely trying to establish himself as a pop culture icon. And you only need to have a look at what he does overseas, in France, in establishing fashion markets, and what he did with APC when he released that. I think it was like a $200 t-shirt, the white t-shirt, plain white. Maybe it was $90. But he's doing all of these things to be a fashion icon. Anyway, what Yeezus is, it's a guy who went to basically all of Kanye's concerts in America for the Yeezus tour, and he shot fucking heaps of footage and spliced it together to make a 2-hour film based on all of the concerts that he's been to. Incredible. So this is actually an amalgamation of different concerts, so it's not just the one concert, this is different ones. That's why he can go through all of those different vantage points. And when this song ends, he goes into a spiel about... it'll basically show you who he is and what he wants to do. No one can deny that he's a musical genius, but... Before I continue, I think it's very important. Like, if you wanna really take in what people are doing, look at them as if they're a child. Like, look at them as if they're still a little kid. I mean, like, that guy Kanye was a little kid once, you know. And when you can look at people from that point of view, it really puts things into perspective, you know. Like, that's someone's will and intuition, like, on stage, and he's manifested this reality for himself where he is cultivated through staying in a bedroom and just making rap beats. He's had the ability to go through life working to this one moment here, which is a packed out concert in front of people so he can share a message and entertain them. I think that's incredible. But let's jump into it. Now, people can talk about those three pillars right there and say, oh, it's Illuminati, yeah, he's on the triangle. But you know what? I come to this point that all it is just symbolism, you know? And there's no doubt there's, you know, satanic, evil, worshipping people out there. You know, you only have to look at the UK pedophilia crisis to have a look at that. But, I mean, ultimately it's just art. Ultimately it's just art and language, you know? And you have to really look at where the intuition people are coming from. And I've got no doubt that, you know, we can say what we want about Kanye. And from what I see when I look at him is that, yeah, he's a very superficial egotist. He's a very petulant child. But there's ultimately that place of love and companionship that he has, you know. I mean, he wouldn't be making this on unless he came from a place where he wanted to share something. I don't necessarily think it's just because he wants to get rich. I think it's just that he has a message that he wants to get through to, you know? But I digress. See, I think this is cool. It's like a semi-song, semi-rapping monologue, a spiel. Just over those haunting piano keys. It's cool. But one thing I should mention is that Kanye, what he's trying to do is he's inventing meaning for people, you know? And I mean that from, he's inventing meaning as in, he's basically, you know, you go into a concert and he's telling you how life is. He's framing your reality. So when you jump into that concert, you're having a look at him when he's up on stage and you've got that idolization of him. Well, he's manifesting that in a way that it props him up. He's using that energy, you know? You know, think about like an NBA player. They're in the basketball stadium. They're feeding off the energy of other people, you know. In that moment, you become like a supportive energy. You become a supportive entity, you know. You're helping someone in a very altruistic way by giving them the ability to go through their art. We can't all be basketball players. We can't all be great musicians. We can't all be actors. And so they need you in order to survive. in that way, in order to do what makes them feel good, in order to do what, you know, pushes them to a higher chakra where their kundalini's just vibrating like a fucking hummingbird, you know? When you have that energy about you, and you figure out what it is that makes you bring that energy out, that's when you're going to be great. You can't do it for money, you can't do it for love, you have to do it because you need to do it. But I digress. So, but what you're seeing there, what you're seeing here is basically that. It's Kanye, you know? This guy being able to do what he wants. He's preaching to the crowd, you know? He's really telling them what's going on inside of him. This is a very candid moment, you know? See, and it's very us versus them. Kanye is a person who identifies with himself as a hero. He's battling. Just listen to what he says. I want to be me. And these are all universal concepts that anyone can relate to. It's very malleable. I think he's very self-aware. He understands. Grabbing your energy. The truth hurts. It's true. But it's Kanye's truth. It's not a universal truth. See, again, it's us versus them. So who's he getting in trouble by? Now, that's a very interesting point he's making there, you know. See, at a certain point, a person becomes very powerful, and they're able to say fuck you to business interests that have their own, you know, sort of agenda that they operate on, and I guess at a certain point, you start to realize, man, I don't fucking need any of that shit. I don't need to be co-opted. I don't need to listen to these fucking A&Rs and do what they want to do, blah, blah, blah. Now, see, Kanye isn't the kind of guy who's going to, you know, rally against Israel and fucking stand up for Palestinians or the oppressed, but he's someone who, again, wants to be like a hero, wants to be a modern-day superhero. He wants to be someone who's a pop culture icon who's looked up to in a way that, you know, Andy Warhol was looked up to, in a way that, you know, just anyone great who was larger than life, you know, Kurt Cobain, that type of figure. And what he's saying here, you know, you really have to pay attention to if you want to understand who Kanye West is. Again, he is a very creative soul. He's a very, you know, he is an egotistical person too. But it's just, it's fucking incredible, you know? He's definitely rallying against the business interest because he's got fuck you money. The concept of fuck you money is when you're financially independent and stable, that you can do basically whatever you want to do without fear of too many repercussions that a person working a job or someone who's financially controlled would have. So that's basically what's going on there. Fighting for, again, us versus them. The hero concept. See, being a creative supporter, he wants people to tap into what they want to do in life. See, he's doing the same thing that he's doing. Like, this right here is practicing what you preach. He wouldn't be doing this unless he wanted to be this. He's trying to tell everyone that they can do the exact same if they really try.
You know what's so funny? I get people that call me and they say, Kanye, I don't agree with your methods and the way your interviews are going lately and shit.
See, and who's saying that? It's just society. When he talks about them, it's they, it's society and big business.
They want me to turn down and shit. They say I don't agree with your methods. They say I only seen one person actually succeed at this in history.
But you know, this can also be creative license. He might just be inventing all of this stuff up. But you know, yeah, everyone's got their own narrative in life.
I said, well, excuse me, sir. I'm not trying to be like Michael. I'm not trying to be like Ali.
Now this is interesting.
I'm not even trying. I just be being me.
He's using massive African-American icons and juxtaposing them with himself.
And I'm not trying to be politically correct. And I'm not running for office. I just want a chance to be free. Now I know y'all don't even know who the fuck Hayes the man is, but let me explain to you who he is. He was once a friend of mine who designed for Christian Dior. And I used to wear his tight-ass jeans when I was on tour and get called names for it. And I visited Hayes the man at his house in LA when he had lost his deal. And all I'm asking for is somebody to keep it real. Because when he got back, I was so happy for him. 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 And I was so happy for the world. Because somebody that actually had a vision was now put in a position of power again.
See, that's interesting.
Selling you my ring, they be selling you bullshit.
See,
And that is the man, he's a guy.
he's bringing you inside what the fashion world is like,
The man is a guy, he don't sell you no bullshit.
or just creativity.
To recognize another God. For a God needs to recognize another God. So when he told me, you can come to my show, but you can't come to see TV, and you can't come to see Ricardo, that was odd. He tried to control me. He tried to tell me where I could go. And when Nike, last conversation I doc told us you gotta take all these trash ass shoes. Nike pressuring them, trying to leverage off some shit that I made. I made the Yeezus Decoded 3 years ago. And they never let me pick up a pencil and draw again. And I wanna build mountains. And I wanna give you more.
See, it's all symbolism.
I wanna give you so much more.
He's controlling a narrative here by basically putting himself as the hero, rallying against the world and everyone trying to control him. You know, using that symbolic mountain as his career.
Do you mind if I tell you? 'Cause I feel so misunderstood.
Like, it's funny, who is he talking to right now? He's basically talking to society, who are his supporters, though. It's like his supporters, Kanye, society, and it goes like that.
You believe that maybe I can actually do it?
It's us versus them. Us, Kanye, and the fans versus them. The world.
Do it. When you see all of this, do you believe that maybe I can actually do it? When I snap with the head of this,
And now he's feeding off their energy. He's basically asking for permission to do this. And if they all agree that he's one of the greatest of all time, then he will be. He's dictating the reality right now. He's programming minds as he speaks.
let's pray together. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is real fucking life. This is not the fashion world. This is not the music world. This is inspiration. This is creativity. And I pray you give me a chance.
It takes a lot of balls to do that, you know, stand out in front of all of those people and put on a show to this degree. But he's earned it. He's earned the right to do that because he's at the peak of the mountain right now. See, he's putting himself up there again. Now he has to go through the ego to say that. I think this whole thing comes from not having a father, but getting over that and then being like, well, I'm gonna do my shit now. I'm gonna do all the stuff in the world that makes me one of the greatest of all time, or whatever it is that I do. It's a long fucking rant. See, now that's fucking cool. You know, it's real interesting how he could put on a show like that. It's a long fucking rant, and it's pretty funny at some point, you know, when you can look at it from that point of view, like, who the fuck is this guy doing that shit, you know? But he's got some good points in there, you know? Imagine in that concert or in the concerts that there's like one person who now believes that he can do what he wants to do in life, or she could do what she wants to do in life. They could be like a creative person. They could just be someone who simply wants to raise a family. Whatever the fuck it is that they want to do. This goes back to the dreams that I was talking about before, but it powers that dream. It is inspiration if you choose to be. You can also choose to say, man, fuck that guy. He's just an egotist. He's a fucking asshole. You know, he's doing this very self-indulgent thing, but that's your point of view, and that's why art is subjective. You choose the interpretation of it. And this right here is my interpretation of that. Whether I'm right, I'm wrong, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But that's how I view it. It's the culmination of my life and that, and how I view it from the mood that I'm in right now. You see, it's all a fractal. When you can look at life as a fractal and realize that all of this is just one aspect of another aspect of a long period of events in that way, it's crazy, you know. You can do whatever the fuck you want in this world. You can put on a concert like that if you convince enough people to do that. Because it comes down to choice. You just need to manifest that. You need to manifest your destiny in a strong and powerful way. And it happens right here, right now. You need to do all of the things that you need to do. You need to do the groundwork in order to basically do the amazing stuff. You need to learn how to draw lines and shade and do tones and color in order to create a masterpiece on canvas. Just anything that you need to do in order to find God, you need to do that, you know. And you'll find, and I know God's a loaded word, but I find when I'm in the flow state, that's God. That's the closest I can get to being God. Being in that creative mode. Creativity. You're creating something, motherfucker. How the fuck do you think we got here? Because we were created. I don't know who created us. If it was an event, if it was a consciousness, whatever. I don't think it was some rogue man in the clouds, but it definitely was a consciousness. And you can see it in the way that, you know, we're designed. I don't have all the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. But, you know, it is what it is. And on DMT, you definitely feel that. Like, you definitely feel that creative vibe. You definitely meet entities that are fucking just very benevolent and playful, you know? It's fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.